Hello, everybody. I hope you're doing well. And today I'm going to be talking about GameStop because I just found it funny how they've appeared on my local news today, right? And I feel like GameStop has been appearing in a lot of news outlets, right, recently, especially in social media, whether it be good or bad. But let's go back to the article, right? So the title says GameStop says three beloved gaming consoles now historic artifacts, which is a fancy way of saying, hey, you know these three consoles? They're retro consoles now. And we don't need GameStop to tell us that, right? It's like, once you know what these consoles are, it's like, okay, we already know that. So, the three consoles that are considered retro are the PS3, 360, and the Wii U, right? And the reasonings why they consider these consoles retro now are kind of stupid in my opinion. So, after a careful analysis that included several factors, including the lack of consoles' ability to run the popular game Fortnite, which is kind of dumb, right? It's considered retro because it can't play Fortnite. I mean, Fortnite, it's not a bad game, but that's just a stupid reason why it's considered retro. The presence of component cables and the realization that they launched when George W. Bush was still president. And we can't forget Obama, right? Because these games were still running during Obama's time as well. I think of the Boondocks every time I think of Obama, right? But yeah, I feel like you can still find a lot of parts easily for these consoles, right? Especially the cables. Um, like on Amazon as well as eBay, I've been able to find like cables for these consoles pretty easily, right? And cheap as well. But you know, this is all part of a marketing gimmick as well. Because GameStop will run a retro trade-in bonus offer now through March 21st. The announcement stated customers who bring in a Wii U, Xbox 360, PS3, or any older console games or accessories will be rewarded with an additional 10% trade-in credit. So that's the catch, right? So you know that really rare PS3 game that you have, if you trade it in now, we're not gonna give you $1. We're gonna give you $2 now because of that 10% trade-in credit, right? Again, I'm bad at math. I'm just saying. I'm just being dramatic. But yeah, we've all been there, man. Where we traded in games from to GameStop, right? And they either give us cents or a couple of bucks, which sucks. That's happened to me before. I remember the lowest I got from a trade-in was a nickel, which is insane. And then GameStop resells that game for like triple the price. But yeah, this is all just like a marketing play, right? Because if you think about it, and have been keeping up with like a lot of GameStop news, GameStop has been trying to dip their toes into the retro console gaming market, right? Because it's a very lucrative business, and you got, it's sad to say, but you got scalpers um, reselling these retro games or consoles at crazy prices, right? And I myself try to get into retro console gaming because I like collecting physical media, but right now it's just so expensive, just like my other hobbies, right? And talking about the consoles, right? Back in the day, I was Team PS3. Yep. Sorry, 360 fanboys. Because I had the fat PS3 or the Spider Man PS3 as I like to call it because of the logo. And this thing was pretty heavy. It was like, what? It felt like 10 pounds maybe. And then I had the slim PS3. It's still in my bed right now. Once in a while, I take it out to play because I got some good games on here. And yeah, Metal Gear Solid 4. I'm glad that game's coming back, to be honest. And they kept saying that it wasn't gonna come back, but hey, Konami found a way. It's an obvious cash grab, right? But still, you get Metal Gear Solid 4 on modern consoles, right? And like I said, I never got around to the 360 because I thought it was a shitty console in my opinion. Looking back, it wasn't. I will say it was probably the superior console, just by a little bit, just by a little smidge. But yeah, I remember back in the day in high school, me and my friends would we would argue about which console was better, right? PS3 or 360. And I would always argue, hey man, you guys got the red ring of death. You can't even, and you gotta pay for your membership. We have free membership and we got some good games. But looking back, the PS3 had a decent library, but I feel like the 360 had a better games library, right? Exclusives too, and they had like a better network, right? With PS3, like I said, we got good games. You know, we had good exclusives, but the PlayStation Network, even though it was free, it was horrible, right? I just remember the PlayStation Network getting hacked pretty often. The biggest one was the Christmas hack, I believe, by these hackers called the Lizard Squad, and they made it up like a BS excuse, like, oh, we wanted to shut down the PS3 network because we wanted people to spend time with their family. And I just remember that ruining my Christmas vacation because I just wanted to low life it on MW2 during that time. And then to try to make everything better, Sony gave us some free games. And then as for the Wii U, I had a Wii U, right? Because I never got the chance at the Wii. And I bought the Wii U because, you know, it was backwards compatible with Wii games. But I didn't really play it that often because it didn't really get that much support. And I remember selling it for $220, and that was with the two Wii remotes, and they were the Mario and the Luigi themed ones. I regret it, man, because those are the Wii U as well. Those are going for the pretty penny right now because everybody's trying to buy up Wii U's right now. But yeah, I just miss this time in gaming, because man, gaming was fun back in the day. I know it sounds corny, but it's true. We had a variety of games, unlike now where we just get a bunch of remasters or lazy remakes. Right now, indie games are, I feel like they're carrying the games industry. But, you know, you don't really see them, like, indie games getting pushed into, like, the mainstream, right? And not only that, the people who worked on these games back in the day, they were very passionate working on video games, right? Especially now where, like, you could tell there's not really like passion being put into creating games anymore, right? It's just a lot of slop, in my opinion. Well, yeah, let me know what you guys think about this. You know, are you gonna trade in some games to GameStop? Your retro consoles. Which team were you back in the day? Were you team PS3, 360, or team Nintendo? And which was your favorite game playing back in the day, too? But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching, and until next time, stay safe and stay blessed. Peace.